What in the world happened to the Dallas Cowboys? Y'all, I have no idea. I sent the link on Facebook. If you guys watching, join in if you want to. Let's get it. Fat Weather Fan Channel. Let's get it. Yo, this your boy EC22 of the Fat Weather Fan Channel for another podcast. Yo, the Dallas Cowboys just lost, and y'all, we got to figure out what the heck happened. The hardest part of this job of being a Fat Weather fan, as you can see, I have to rep the winning team. That's just the way this podcast works. But we're going to really dive into what happened to the Cowboys. Yo, this is our team. This is our team. I'm sorry. Congratulations to Green Bay before we even get started. But, man, those of you who are watching or chiming in, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments. Thank you for tuning to the Fat Weather Fan Channel. Max, what did you see out there for the Dallas Cowboys? As you can see, this guy's, if you don't know, he's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. So what do you see out there tonight or this afternoon?
I told everyone when I predicted this, if the Packers come out running the ball, Packers will win the game. What the Packers do? Aaron Jones went hard and ran and ran and ran.
He did.
He ran away with the W.
My thoughts is listen. First of all, Mike McCarthy. At the beginning of the game, when they started talking about how Mike McCarthy said this is going to be just business as usual, they're going to play their normal game, they're going to play their style. That was a bad thing because this is the playoffs. There should have been something different. If you watch the game, it seemed like the Cowboys pretty much played the way they normally play all season long. And obviously, you know, you got to have a different gear when you kick it to the postseason. And Mike McCarthy did not have extra gear. I don't know if they felt like because they was at home, they was going to be guaranteed to win. But I don't know. This was bad. Number 2, CeeDee Lamb. Listen, I don't know. You know, there's this bug going around the Metroplex here in Dallas. We talked about that in the green room. But listen, I don't know if he had the bug. I don't know if sick. I don't know if he just had pregame jitters, nervous of being in the postseason. I don't know. But something was going off. Something very, very off with CeeDee Lamb. Something was very, very off, and we don't know what it was or what's going on with him, but there's definitely something off, and we'll definitely try to see what they're going to say in the post-game interview. And number 3, Stephon Gilmore. I know DaRon Bland had a lot to blame on his part, but Stephon was getting cooked out there. No matter who they put in front of him, whether it was Wicks or whether it was Dobbs, he was getting ate up all night long, and it didn't seem like he had that energy to give in there. You know, you talked about during the game how the O-line Love having so much time to throw the ball. I mean, listen, I expect them to protect that kid. I expect them to put more people back there. But dang, when you got receivers running all over the place and killing that zone, I mean, heck, it wasn't like he was moved out of the pocket. You know, that means that the darn DBs wasn't doing their job. You know what I'm saying? When the guys are just normal running their regular routes, and he's able to pick them apart, standing in that spot, that's what a quarterback is supposed to do. But in my opinion, if the DBs are doing their job, they're going to get their quarterback on the run if the old D-line can't get there. But something was going on. That's just my take, and I got more to go. But I'm handing off to you, Max. I know you are not necessarily a Cowboy fan or not at all a Cowboy fan. I know you want to gloat in this victory right now.
All I got to say is you can see it translating on the field. The team got punched in the mouth real quick on the very first drive, and after that, it looked like everything just fell apart. Like they were not expecting for the Packers to come out here and score on the very first possession, man.
You see this, Coach Dumb Quinn decided to play zone after playing mostly man all year long. Yeah. That's those one of those like I gotta before we go off, I'm gonna give my let's see what Jordan Love have to say real quick during his interview real quick.
How were you able to score this much on that defense? I mean, they got a good defense, but I think we got a really good offense as well. So,
Played a great game. Had 3 touchdowns. O line did a great job. But it was all around team effort. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said coming in it was a big accomplishment to make the playoffs. Now what is it to come in here, do what you did, and move on, Jordan? What does that mean?
It means a lot.
Absolutely.
It's a testament to the team and how we work, compete every week, and obviously now we get a chance to go play the Niners. So obviously it's a tough road game, great team. So get ready for that.
Gotta go back to snow now.
Oh yeah.
Go back to work. Congrats, Jordan.
Wow. Yeah, he said they got a good defense, but we got a good offense. And that's saying something right there, because we're talking about a team that beginning of the season wasn't playing fairly well. We saw what happened in Detroit on Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then they just took off from there, and it really showed us. You made some comments about Jordan Love early part of this season or mid part of the season. What were you saying about the kid?
Everyone was saying he was a buzz. I kept on telling you he has a young wide receiver core. Everyone's in the first or second year. It's gonna take a while. Just trust the process, and he'll get there. And he's there already, man.
Right. For those who are watching, man, I know some of you guys may be on the move, or you may just be either frustrated or may not be a person who really dive into social media that much. But if somebody who is watching right now, please leave a comment. I'm going to ask the question: what's next for the Cowboys? Somebody leave a question. I'm gonna have my take. Mac's gonna have his take. But if you guys want to jump into the conversation, what's next for the Cowboys? If you're watching on Facebook, there is a link on my page, Eric Curtis page, to join this podcast if you want to. Just click the link and then follow the StreamYard, and then we'll just go from there. If you were there, if you want to join. But once again, Max, what's next for the Cowboys?
You saw it in Jerry Jones' face, man. He's really disappointed, and he's out of patience at this point. And someone's gonna get it, and we know it's gonna be Mike McCarthy. Everyone said it at the beginning of the season. If he loses in the playoffs, it has to be against the 49ers, no other team, because you got a straight shot to the championship game.
Right.
Because you were perfect at home, and you just collapsed at home. You literally made all these fans delusional. They really thought you would do something special, at least make it to a championship game. Number 2 seed, you get 2 straight home games, and
Yeah.
sadly, it's gonna have to come down on someone. It's gonna be on the coaching, because what put on the field is a presentation of what your coaches does.
Yeah, I think, and like G said, fire McCartney and Quinn and release Pollard. I definitely would fire Mike McCartney, and I would fire McCartney before we see Monday morning. just personally, I think it's time for him to go. You got a lot of good coaches out there. A lot of good coaches coming out that deserve the head coaching job. Also, I would let Dan Campbell go ahead and go wherever way he want to go. There are some teams that are looking to interview him. I will wait till the offseason to see if Dan Campbell get a job somewhere and let him go. They doing this thing now, trading and stuff like that, trading coaches. I don't know if the Cowboys in a position to trade Dan Quinn for anything, but definitely hold off to the offseason. To see what type of coach you can get to replace McCartney and see if they can work together. But obviously, McCartney and Quinn are on 2 different pages. But then, Pollard, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Let Pollard go. I'm not opposed to it. Get something for him though.
Nah, rebang your cornerback group, because next year you get who? You get Stephon Diggs,
Trayvon
Trayvon
Diggs.
Diggs. Like, who's gonna be starting opposite of him? Because we just saw Stephon Gilmore give zero effort out there. So
Yeah.
it's like, who's gonna line up opposed to him now? And
Yeah, they definitely need Trayvon. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
on top of that, if Dan Quinn does decide to move on from Dallas, wherever he lands, don't be surprised if Micah Parsons decides to follow him wherever he goes as
Mm.
well.
Nah, well, I mean, there's anything's possible with the Cowboys, but um Trayvon, I mean, Stephon Gilmore got to go. He got to go. I was never a fan of him coming over here. Let's see. He said, "Yeah, you have to." He was a franchise tag. Just cut ties with Pollard and go after Derrick Henry. Absolutely. This brings up another point. Before I get to that point, um, yeah, Stephon Gilmore got to go. I was never a fan of him coming over. I thought maybe he would work, uh, considering what our safeties would do. But obviously, he's been struggling. At least the second half of the season, he struggled against some of the better receivers out there. So he definitely got to go. Um, Draft, look for some cornerbacks in the draft. Definitely, I think LeBron. I'm not ready to give up on DeJuan Bland right now. Um, I think he could be that guy. They just have to have him a DB coach that's going to control him, marginalize him, put him in the box, and realize, okay, yeah, you've got the record. We need you to play cornerback now. Forget trying to get interceptions. Play cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Name of the game is stop the wide receiver and not getting interceptions. If they can control him on that and control Trayvon Diggs in that matter, you get them guys to play true cornerback position. This is what I like. Because me and G, we had a conversation early in the season. We was talking about Dion being the greatest cornerback out there, and then the conversation sparked that Dion don't have as many interceptions as some of the other guys who are named on that list, that top 10 list. But at the end of the day, Dion wasn't a guy who was out there trying to heavily get interceptions. His name it was get those incompletes, them INCs. You throw this way, it's gonna be, you're gonna lose that down, And he wasn't a tackler. Okay, we get all that. Maybe he should have been a tackler. Of course, you had some bigger DBs out there that was bigger and stronger than Dion, but Dion wasn't giving no effort. But the name of the game is stop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be incomplete or if you get an interception, fine. But don't be trying to throw it all on the line. But with that being said, the Cowboys have shown us who they are over and over and over again. These veteran players, top 10, top 20 veteran players, want to go to a championship contending team, a Super Bowl contending team. How does Dallas sell that to a Derrick Henry? This is what they've been, a 12-5 team, early exit from the playoffs. How you sell that to a Derrick Henry to want to come over here to entertain the Cowboys?
Show it by hiring your next head coach. Depending on who they get as their next head coach, will decide ultimately if people will be trying to coming down here to play for that coach or not. Because
Right.
honestly, if someone like Bill Belichick, there's a possibility Bill Belichick could come down
No,
here.
no, no, no.
Possibility. You
That's a
never know.
possibility.
You
Yeah.
never know.
But
There was a report before the game came out that Jerry Jones said he would pursue Bill Belichick after this game if something were to happen.
this is the problem with Jerry Jones. And I don't know if he's trying to bring in coaches or people that are close to his age or whatever. I don't know. Uh, but no, but serious is like you're trying to build a program and you need longevity. There are a lot of young coaches that are coming out. You don't need, because it didn't work when you tried to go do it with Bill Parcells. It didn't work with Jason Garrett. It didn't work with obviously Mike McCartney. We don't need that again. The Cowboys don't need that again. They need to go out there and get some of this young talent out there. Let's see what Jones. He said you show him Pollard got 13 yards behind the line and he wasn't even getting the ball a lot. Wow. Then he says 2 years and I'm 2 years in a row. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if getting Belichick is going to fire up the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to fire up the Cowboys, because especially the way he left with a losing season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back to back losing season. So I just don't. That it just makes no sense at this point. But that'll definitely give them some primetime spots. It'll
And
definitely sell you some tickets. So
they need to find a wide receiver too, man, because Brandon Cooks was non-existent in this game. The offense ran through CD Lamb and Ferguson, and that was it. They need better passing wide receivers out there, man, because you're not gonna get it done with just one tight end and one wide receiver.
Ferguson gonna be all right. You don't need a bunch of tight ends, but I get what you're saying. They need more of a receiving core. This is what goes to show you with Amari Cooper. You don't let him go. You got to pay that money. And this is the problem with the Cowboys for the team, for the franchise who has the most revenue on all platforms. Make absolutely. You're talking about you got baseball players getting almost $1 billion, $700 million, and the Cowboys are still bringing in more money than even baseball teams. And you can't pay players. It makes no sense to me. Sacrifice the salary cap for a winning season, for a Super Bowl season. To me, that's an even trade. You got the money. You know what I'm saying? You keep that together. And the fact, and it's for games like this, sir, when CeeDee Lamb is not feeling his best, you have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go. And you can't, Jake Ferguson's a good tight end, but he's no Travis Kelce to where you can put the ball and put the game on his hand. He's not that guy. He's good, but he's not that guy. He's not even a George Kittle. He's not even Mark Andrews. He's not even a Dalton Schultz, who they let go away. And we saw what he did yesterday. They definitely need more receivers to do something. What is Jay saying? Exactly. They couldn't pay him because they was busy overpaying Gallup and Jalen Smith. Now, I get Jalen Smith, but Gallup, they should have been long time let him go away. And they overpay Amari. I would overpay Amari. I would have definitely. There's a point. I'm waiting to see that one owner that's just going to say we're going to go ahead and give this money to the league and just go ahead and pay that tax to keep a team together. Because if you keep Amari Cooper and possibly go into a luxury tax situation, heck, I think they can win this game. I think they can go to Super Bowl. I think they give Dak more options to look at. But that's not the way Jerry Jones is. I'm not going to expect him to be anything different than what he's always been, and that's kind of where the Cowboys are always going to be the same old Cowboys, and it's just unfortunate, that we're at this point in the season to where you fight all the way up, you get a ugly, you got the number one seed, but it was ugly. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of help from Philadelphia, right? So it is what it is. Just call it what it is, right? And then you don't go out and handle business. No losses at home all season long until now. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. My brother, Big D, shout out to Big D, who has always, and G, check this out. I can't make this up. G, you know how Big D has been the excuse maker for the Cowboys. I think he controlled the algorithm of generating excuses for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what I think he's the one writing stuff out for the excuses for the Dallas Cowboy fans. Even today, he said he's done with the Cowboys. I know, right? He said he was done. I was like, this is crazy. I was hoping that he would get on here, but I know he's probably got his head in the toilet somewhere, sick as a dog, and it ain't got nothing to do with COVID. Yeah, Skip Curtis. That's exactly what he is. That was my brother, Skip Curtis. But boy, he is definitely is sick right now. And I wish I had a chance to, and I'll talk to my old man probably later on tonight or tomorrow. He's definitely he's always going to be a Cowboy fan to the heart, but I'm pretty sure he was throwing socks and stuff at the TV himself. For those of you who don't know, and I'm going to go, let Max get the final words before I get off here. Just want to get on quick because the other game's getting ready to start. But for those of you who do not know, let me go ahead and say this. I've been holding this in for the longest. I've said it several times, but once again, I want to remind people why we are the Fairweather fan. And I was a Fairweather fan because I was a Cowboy fan and still is a Cowboy fan, but I was a diehard Cowboy fan for many years, for as long as I can remember. Diehard Cowboy. I got more paraphernalia in this house for the Dallas Cowboys, jerseys, T-shirts, you name it, number one signs, banners, wavy tiles. I got it all. I got during throws and blankets and stuff, Cowboy fans, figurines. But it's times like this, I got tired of getting hurt. I got tired of waking up Monday morning, questioning my life, wondering if my life is in vain. You know what I'm saying? Wondering if I was going to make it through the next week. Full on depression. And what I was doing, I was missing the beauty and the art form of football. If the Cowboys lost, I was done. And I can't remember the year, but it was one year I actually decided to watch a Thursday night game, and it was the Denver Broncos playing with Peyton Manning was on that squad. And I think it was Baltimore, and I watched him go out there and do the dang thing. And for the first time, I said, "This is football." And from then on, I have been allowing myself to watch other teams play and following teams all the way to the playoffs. So it was Denver when they got there and lost to Seattle. Then after that, we see we watched Cam Newton get up there and lose to the Broncos, and we watched the Patriots beat up on Seattle. So we're just like I've been watching and watching. And of course, the Patriots and Atlanta series, and just go on and on and on. And of course, the Eagles win against the Patriots, and then of course the last couple of years with Kansas City, LA, and stuff like that. So I had just been a fan of football for a long, long time, and that's what started the podcast, The Fair Weather Fan. The Fair Weather Fan is not to say that I'm a bandwagon rider. For those of you who listen. It's not to say I'm a bandwagon rider. I love football. And the fair weather is just a little play on the words. You know what I'm saying? I like fair football. I like the fair weatherness of it. I love to be able to say, hey, I'm going to follow that team to greatness. That's why it's easy for me, even being a Dallas Cowboy fan, to put on a Green Bay hat after this loss, because at the end of the day, the Cowboys they're the one that's soaking more than I am. And I'm not going to let them steal my joy. Just as sad as I was with the Browns losing, I'm excited about the Texans. And we're going to just keep going forth and forth and forth on this thing. But this is the Fair Weather Fan podcast. This is your boy EC22. Max, what's your final words?
Let's go Rams. Upset the Detroit and make Eminem look dumb today.
Oh, so those you don't know, Eminem takes to social media and he's begging Matthew Stafford to let Detroit have this win. He said because he came when they went to the Super Bowl, he came out, sung for him and stuff like that. Obviously, Detroit didn't make the playoffs at that time. So him being Matthew Stafford being in Detroit for a long time, Eminem came out and did his thing and showed support for the kid, even though he wasn't in Detroit anymore. But this time, playoff game, Eminem took to social media and begging Matthew Stafford to throw in the towel, to throw this game away.
Let Detroit have this one. Nope.
Let Detroit have this because he is afraid of Matt Stafford. But at the end of the day, I think that Detroit had just as much a chance of winning this game as what's the name? Let's see what Gia said. G said. He said, Max, wipe the spot off your face. I'm 45 years of living. It's like in my 45 year live, I didn't get to celebrate 3 times. I did get to celebrate 2 times. You still on 1. How about them? God, dog. Wait a minute, G. Okay. That's what we doing? That's what we doing? How about them Cowboys? I ain't mad at you.
I need some positivity my way because we only won 1 out of the last 6 games. So I need to be happy from somewhere.
There you go. How about them Cowboys? So that's how we go do it. Thanks, G, for reminding me that, yeah, we still Cowboy Nation over here. We will survive the Mike McCartney era. We will survive the Dak Prescott era. We will survive all these bad eras. So for those of you out there who are Cowboy fans, that's going to send it off just like this here. First of all, if you're a fan of football, let's continue to root for the remaining players and the remaining teams in the playoffs. Let's continue to root for them for their success. Let's not get into this bitter hatred and want to start, seeing the worst of the worst. But let's continue to hope for a good playoff run. And the Cowboys are still alive. She laughing at me when I switched. But man, Max, thank you for joining, man. Those who are watching, man, thank you for joining. Continue to like, subscribe, share, subscribe, share, leave comments to Fair Weather Fan channel. And join us this Tuesday at 6 o'clock as we do a whole recap of the first round of the playoffs. Until then, just your boy C22, and we out.